If you've spent hours comparing Italki and Preply tutor profiles, here's something you should know before you pick one. Italki and Preply are two versions of the same model. There's a second model, though, for working one-on-one with a Spanish tutor online that most comparisons never show you. I'm Sean, brand ambassador with Spanish 55. We're an online Spanish tutoring company that's worked one-on-one with adult learners in the US since 2014. And today I want to show you both models, what each one is built for, and how to tell which one works for you. If you want to learn Spanish with a real human tutor online, you have two models to choose from. Okay. The first is a pay-per-lesson marketplace, like Italki or Preply, where you browse independent tutors and book lessons one at a time. The second is a guided subscription program, where you work one-on-one with a tutor inside a structured program that handles planning, continuity, and support for you. That's the model Spanish 55 is built on. Neither one is universally better. They optimize for different things, and by the end of this video, you'll know which one fits you. Let's start with the model you've probably already seen. A marketplace is, at its core, a directory of independent tutors. Platforms like Italki and Preply handle discovery, scheduling, payment. You browse profiles, watch intro videos, read reviews, you book lessons one at a time or in bundles, right? Everything else, meaning the teaching approach, the materials, the long-term plan, it lives within each individual tutor. That's by design, okay? The platform's job is to connect you. The learning is between you and whichever tutor you choose. Now that design has real strengths: enormous selection, competitive prices, total flexibility. You decide which tutor to work with, how often to meet, when to switch, and what to do if progress slows, right? And yes, you can find excellent tutors on these platforms. But notice who does the finding and who does the vetting. The platform screens profiles and credentials. It doesn't watch anyone teach, and it doesn't supervise quality over time. Reviews and ratings tell you if a tutor is liked, but not necessarily that their teaching fits your goals. The vetting system, it's you, your research, your trial lessons, your judgment, 1 hour at a time. Okay? That's the model's quiet assumption. You are the director of your own learning. Choosing well, evaluating the right fit, planning your progression, and staying consistent. All of that is your job in this case. The platform was never built to do it. The second model works differently. A guided subscription program operates more like an online academy than a directory. The organization, not the individual tutor, is responsible for hiring and vetting teachers, setting instructional standards, choosing materials, and planning beyond any single lesson. The vetting you'd otherwise do yourself, lesson by lesson, happened before you arrived. You work with one primary tutor, and your lessons are designed to build on each other as part of a longer arc. The key distinction isn't the billing, it's where the responsibility lives. Companies like Spanish 55 are built this way. One primary coach by default, a learning plan around your goals, and real people beyond the tutor when something needs attention. Now, 2 quick notes so the map's complete. You'll also find platforms advertising unlimited Spanish, where you hop into sessions with whoever happens to be available. That's optimized for on-demand conversation volume, not structured progression. So it's best judged on its own terms. And if you're still deciding between an app and a human tutor, that's a different question for a different video. This one assumes you've decided you want a real person. So if both models can connect you with excellent tutors, and they can, what's the real difference? It's this: who is responsible for noticing and fixing problems in your learning process? In a marketplace, that's you. You select the tutor. You evaluate whether the fit is working. You notice when you've plateaued, diagnose why, and decide whether to adjust or switch. You protect your own consistency when life gets busy. For self-directed learners, especially people who've successfully learned a language before, that autonomy is a feature. You know what progress looks like and how to steer toward it. In a guided program, however, responsibility is shared. When progress slows, the system is designed to catch it. Not just the tutor, but people whose actual job is to watch for the small problems that quietly derail adult learners. And I want to be clear, carrying the responsibility yourself is not a flaw in the marketplace model. Some adults want exactly that. But I've learned several languages as an adult, okay? And here's what I've seen across every one of them. The attempts that compounded and the attempts that faded were rarely separated by talent or even by the teacher. They were separated by whether anything other than my own willpower was protecting my consistency. Does that make sense? Now, there's a piece of advice here that you've probably heard, and I want you to take it seriously. The teacher matters more than the platform, so try several tutors before committing. That's good advice, genuinely, for the selection phase. But let's ask a different question. How do adults actually make sustained progress? And the standard advice flips completely. You choose one teacher and stay with them for at least 3 months, because instruction compounds, okay? Your tutor learns your gaps, your goals, your patterns, and every lesson starts from accumulated context instead of a reset. Both pieces of advice are right. They just describe two different phases, okay? Marketplaces are optimized for the selection phase, browsing, sampling, comparing. Guided programs are optimized for the progress phase, okay? Continuity, planning, momentum. What a guided program really does is handle the selection work up front through vetting, intentional pairing, so that you start much closer to the progress phase. Okay? And here's why the progress phase deserves more weight than it usually gets. Whatever model you choose, real progress runs on months, not weeks. With consistent practice, most adults reach basic conversational ability somewhere around like 3 to 6 months in. And real comfort takes 1 to 2 years. Those are honest numbers, okay? And our coaches would tell you the same thing, which means that the model you pick isn't just for your first lesson. It has to survive month 4. So which model fits you? A marketplace tends to work best if you enjoy managing your own learning. You've already learned another language before, you want maximum flexibility or variety, and you're already intermediate to advanced and mainly want conversation practice. A guided subscription program tends to work best if you're busy and want a structured plan. You'd rather make fewer decisions, okay? And you value continuity and support. You're building foundational skills, you're treating Spanish as a serious long-term commitment rather than an experiment. Notice that neither list is about which model is better. The best model is the one that matches how much responsibility you want to carry and whether your life supports steady follow-through. So be honest with yourself about that. And you've done most of the work of choosing. As for us, Spanish 55 is a guided subscription program. One-on-one lessons with a vetted coach, a learning plan built around your goals, and a team behind the tutor whose job is to keep your progress on track. In the description, we've linked this whole video comparison in writing with more detail than this video allows. And Conquering Spanish, our interview series where Spanish 55 students tell their own stories in their own words. If you want to find out whether this model fits you, that's literally what our free trial lesson is for. It's a full 55-minute session with a coach where the coach assesses your level, hears your goals, and outlines a realistic path forward. You'll leave knowing whether this structure is right for you, whatever you decide. Schedule your free trial lesson at Spanish55.com. Whichever model you choose it on purpose. That alone puts you ahead of most people who start.